There's a ton of misconceptions about hashtags out there, about why they work, why they might not work, how they actually work. And most of these things come from people actually not knowing that the platform's constantly changing and not changing with it. You know, people just not paying attention. In case you didn't know, Instagram is actually the fastest growing social media platform out there. They're constantly switching things up, constantly tweaking their algorithms. There's multiple algorithms in case you didn't know that, and they constantly change how the game works in order to make the platform better. Like with hashtags, for example. You know, up until, let's say 2019 or something like this, hashtags used to be a pretty predictable way of growing on Instagram. You know, was kind of like the set formula X that you just had to apply, and you kind of had some predictable growth going on. Then, you know, Instagram switched it up. They're like, oh, we have to change some things because, I don't know, mostly because of spammy marketers doing their thing and destroying the platforms, the social media platforms like they love to do. Instagram changed it up once again. And all of a sudden, you know, it was kind of hard to predict how it works. It was actually pretty bad to grow with hashtags because there was a huge randomness factor going on. But lucky for you, my friends, they kind of switched it up again. To the better, actually, especially with the top 9 hashtags and with a little bit more prediction going on. And this is exactly what we're gonna talk about here in this video today. We're gonna talk about all the ins and outs, the latest trends, the latest strategies to grow and rank with hashtags in 21. We're gonna talk about research, starting this whole thing up, so actually using some tools to make this thing a lot easier. And then we're also gonna talk about some secret hacks that you can, but not always should, use to solidify this whole thing and to actually be able to predict your growth a lot better. So let's get into that. Welcome back, Dominators. Now, you know, let's say you create a post, you're about to publish a post, and right before publishing, you're like, oh wow, it's time for the hashtags, I guess. So what are you gonna do? You go to your notes app or something like this, and you find some hashtags that you always use and you just paste them under the post and just hope for the best, because sometimes you do get some hashtag reach, right?
Wrong.
Well, the Instagram algorithm works in a way that it constantly tries to group your content together and try to find a matching audience for that. So it will always find somebody who might like whatever your content is about. And naturally, you know, just thinking about that, your posts are never gonna be the exact same every time you post, right? So you just can't, just because of that, you just can't use the same set of hashtags every time that you post. I'm not even talking about the exact same order of the hashtags, which is something that you should not do anyway, but since you watch this channel hopefully more than once, you should know that, you know, talking about the spam algorithms, spam detection algorithms and stuff like this, but we're not gonna talk about that right here. But anyway, this is why we more or less have to individually select hashtags for each post that we post. How are you gonna do that? Obviously, you're gonna steal it from other competitors. Yeah, that's how the game works. At least in the beginning, to get a feel or an idea to where this journey can take you through the hashtag research. So how are we gonna steal the first ideas, for example, to get some hashtag ideas? Obviously, just going to your competitors on Instagram, checking out their posts and seeing what kind of hashtags do they use. You know, is there some recurring hashtags, or what are posts that might have performed a lot better from your competitors, and why could that be? Maybe they ranked with some certain hashtags. Maybe you find some patterns. So obviously you can do all of these things manually and nothing speaks against that, I have to tell you that. But obviously you can also use some tools. For example, the tool that I've been using and lots of clients have been using in the past years already, 1.5 years or something. Hashtastic is something I can really recommend, and I'm not just saying that because there's an affiliate link down below in the description where you actually get some, you know, and we're gonna talk about exactly this feature, the hashtag performance campaigns, but I think if you sign up through my link, you get more performance campaigns. So, you know, it's just a win for both of us. But anyway, what you can do with the basic function of Hashtastic is you have an account scanner. For example, my profile right here, you can see, well, this post was doing not so good, this post was doing better, and this is how many hashtags I had in the description. Then you can press here. Then you can see the hashtags I used. Or your competitor used. You also have some sort of image recognition, basic image recognition feature in there. And what you can do, you can just go ahead, type them in there and analyze them for your own needs. Now, we're gonna talk about this thing right in a second, but let's talk about the second way to actually figure out highly performing hashtags for Instagram. It's to actually just go ahead, take a look at your post that you're about to post, and think of some hashtags that might be fitting. For example, in this case, me and a donkey, my best friend. So if we just go to search, then you type donkey, for example, hit the tag button, then you see, okay, hashtag donkey, donkey love, Donkey Kong, probably not. donkey of the day, and just go from there, then go to other posts and see, you know, posts that are ranking there with the donkey, and then go, all right, what other hashtags they might have used, and there you already have a million different hashtags that you can also use, mini donkey or whatever it is. And then basically you're just gonna note down this whole different kind of range of hashtags. You know, some hashtags or most of the hashtags that are actually specific to your post, but also some hashtags that are, you know, fitting to your overall niche, you know, your overall theme or something like this. And then it's actually time for you to actually sort those hashtags and check whether your chances of actually ranking in them is high or not so high, or just a little out of reach or something like this. And there's a few metrics that I've noticed recently are more important than the others. First of all, obviously the volume of the hashtags. You know, how many hashtags are, you know, how many times this hashtag is being used on a daily basis, for example. You know, if there's a lot of people using the same hashtags every day, you know, there's probably also gonna be a lot of people searching for these hashtags or looking through these hashtags, meaning there's more traffic, meaning there's potentially a little more likes, you know, to gain from that, more reach to gain from that. Then obviously another very important thing is, let me just get on my phone again, the average engagement that a post has, ideally in the top 9, you know, depends if a reel is in the first spot or not. But let's just say above the fold right here, as we can see, 1,200 likes, 1,200 likes, 6,000 likes. So it's here in this, you know, case, donkey of the day, it's between 1,000 and 6,000 likes. More on the side of more like 1,000 likes, 1,500 likes. So if your usual engagement falls within that range, you know, obviously it's time to go for that. And your likelihood of ranking in there is actually pretty high. And then number 3, the other thing that you have to really take care of, and this thing's usually something that I only tell my students in my paid program, the Instagram Black File, you have to take a look at the hashtag page itself, talking about the content itself. You know, for example, you can see there's a lot of donkeys in there, and most of the posts are actually, except for one and the reels, all of the posts here are pictures. No carousels, no reels, no videos, right? So chances of you, if you have a similar looking picture that is not, in this case, a reel or a video or a carousel, meaning just a normal post, chances are a lot higher of you actually ranking in them. You know, sometimes you're gonna find some hashtag pages that are only gonna consist of carousels. So, you know, well, this is probably what I'm gonna rank with, the carousels. Or, you know, reels. A lot of people ask me, hey Dominic, how about reels? What kind of do hashtags work on reels? My answer is yes, but not as well as it would do with other posts. You know, first of all, because reels has their own algorithm, a very good algorithm. Second of all, out of the top 9 or 10 posts right here, only the first one is a reel. So your chances are already 10 times smaller than they would be with another post. Now, with the other metrics that we just talked about, you know, talking about, first of all, the volume. How can you figure out the volume? First of all, you go to your hashtag page, select recent, just wait a little bit because apparently it's slow, and then you're gonna see, kind of try to track the within the last 24 hours or something like this, how many people actually use those, you know, this hashtag. You know, as you can see, the last picture was taken 2 minutes ago. There were already 9 hours ago, so not that many, even though it's not too bad, but not that many. And the more people, the more posts are obviously in there within the last 12 hours, 24 hours, you're gonna see the more volume you're gonna have. The higher your chances of actually getting more reach if you rank. Talking about the average engagement, you know, we talked about it, obviously, you know, just take a look at mostly the top 9. There's a special case here, you know, this is something a little bit more advanced, but there's something that we call a gateway post. Usually, if you see in this case, it's between 1,000 and 6,000 likes, right around. Usually there's 1 or 2 posts within the first top 9 hashtags that are more like 100 likes or 200 likes. Basically, Instagram gives the chance to smaller creators to actually also rank in higher, you know, better performing hashtags. And this is why you should never, you know, if you're like, okay, this is totally out of the reach and I don't really have a lot of hashtags that could be fitting for my own metrics, you know, always use bigger ones as well, because, you know, because of the gateway posts. Another way to actually track your performance and analyze whether you potentially could rank on the hashtags or not is actually through Hashtastic, obviously, you know, and as we can see right here, basically, you know, you type in a list of hashtags, you can say average number of likes or whatever, and then basically you can see, you know, daily posts. If there's a lot of daily posts, for example, a lot of daily posts, they give you a score, you know, And this is the most important thing, the maximum and the minimum likes in the top 9. Obviously, you're gonna have to factor in the average likes here, just because of the gateway post that we just talked about, because it's 116 and 8,000. But on average, it's 1,400 likes. And then also it gives you the top posts per hour, average likes per hour. So you can see whether your, velocity metrics actually also match hiring your chances of ranking in the hashtags even more. And obviously, you can do all of these things, or most of these things, manually, but with this tool, and I think it's just $10 or something like this, you cut down, especially the time that you spent, by a lot. So in my opinion, it's totally worth it. Also, there's what they call hashtag trends, where you can kind of see if a hashtag is trending. In this case, it's not really trending. A trend would be like a steep curve going up or something like this, or here, it's actually trending downwards. Looking at the daily average posts, average likes, you can just get a feel for certain hashtags to see, there was a slight trend, and also here, daily average posts, you can see it. So yeah, basically you can just figure out whether there's an emerging trend or something like this and jump on that early to actually take the maximum, power with you. But my friends, there's actually even something more awesome with this tool. Actually, it's what they call the hashtag performance campaigns, and I think you usually have one campaign for free or something like this. If you sign up through my link, like I said, I think you get more or something. You're gonna have to see, but basically you can track all of your hashtag performance of your own account, for example, with all of the posts that you do, and then you can actually assess, for example, 20% of all of the hashtags that I used ranked in the top 9 with my personal profile. For example, I've ranked 56 hashtags since last year, didn't post that much on my personal profile. Then you can see all of the ranked hashtags. You can see how many times you ranked in top 9. For example, here's to the Rebels. I've ranked a lot. And then you can assess your individual posts. There's some issue right now with the post, but obviously, for example, my latest post, you can see the best ranking that I had was 10th place, Dubai Desert Safari, that I used. And there you can kind of see, well, this was kind of bad, didn't really rank. And then you can just go from there and kind of assess which hashtags work why and when, because sometimes there's some trends, because I honestly believe that sometimes you can get some sort of hashtag authority within Instagram. For example, the algorithm sees, well, you usually rank with a hashtag like this, meaning whenever you post, chances of you are going to be higher than usual to actually ranking in a certain hashtag. So I definitely recommend this whole software. Like I said, I think it's $10. There's some free basic version available as well. Like I said, just down below is the link. But there's even something more advanced, kind of illegal, I have to tell you how it is, that you can use. Something that we actually figured out during one of our live streams here. Basically, it's a trick where you can figure out the exact impressions from right within Instagram that you got from a certain hashtag. Now, here's the thing, I have to tell you how it is. It's slightly illegal. It's sort of like a hack. So, don't do it with all of your posts right when I tell you how it works. Do it every once in a while with some posts where you saw, for example, you ranked with them very well, or within your Instagram insights, seeing, the posts where you got the most hashtag impressions from, then you should do it. But basically what you're gonna do is, you're gonna go to a post, for example, and I just tell you how you can make maximum use of this. Find a post where you have a lot of hashtag reach, for example, 11,000 in this case. Then you're gonna hit the promote button. Don't worry about it. You don't actually have to promote it. So just hit random stuff here. Automatic, whatever, and just whatever. And then you're just gonna say create promotion and wait until it actually gets, until you see this screen where it says well done. Then right afterwards, and you have to be kind of fast, you hit the promotion insights button, and then you actually see the actual impressions that you got from the hashtags. For example, in my case, fashionista style, I got almost 5,000 impressions. Tesla Model 3, 2,800 impressions. And that way, and don't overdo it, because here's the thing, you can kind of delete this, and this is the problem. Instagram doesn't really like it if you delete it all the time. You might get locked out of your advertising account, or you might you rank down, and then it takes a lot more time when you actually try to get your posts approved or something like this. If you do it every once in a while, you can kind of see whenever I have a post, for example, with my Tesla Model 3, who would have thought that? And from there on, you can go further put these things right into Hashtastic, for example, or manually, you know, and look through them, and then actually try to figure out your own hashtag strategy, because it's similar but different for each and everybody of us. And there's a lot of thoughts that you have to put into all of these things. And this is why Instagram is not so easy anymore. But it has a lot more substance, if you ask me. You know, it requires multiple strategies, a whole full-blown strategy to make it work. And basically this, what we just talked about, is how you rank with hashtags in 21. You know, easy, depends, but certainly doable. Let me know how these things worked out for you down below in the comments. And if you would like to know more about growing your Instagram, growing a brand, you know, there's a playlist somewhere there talking about the latest 21 growth hacks and growth strategies actually on how to grow on Instagram. My name's Dominic. Voice is gone. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.